No DQ Galaxy, we are live with a recap of Monday Night Raw for July 31st, 2023, the end of July. You know what that means. August, Summerslam is right around the corner. It is going to be a happening in Detroit, Michigan at Ford Field. Over 50,000 fans expected in attendance for this show. I will be among the 50,000 in the stadium for SummerSlam this Saturday, I should say, in Detroit. I'm so used to Sunday pay-per-views / premium live events. Saturday night, it's going to be a night for fighting, WWE style. Now, of course, there will be Collision too, but I'll be at SummerSlam, which means no recap of Collision this coming Saturday. Anyways, we're here to talk about Raw, so let's get right down to it. We opened up Monday Night Raw with a promo. Logan Paul coming to the ring. He said that last week he only wanted to hype up their match, but was victimized when Ricochet attacked him as he was filming with his camera. The crowd chanted, "What at him?" He said that their match at SummerSlam is going to be the most viral match in WWE history. Ricochet then showed up and said that Logan Paul is not fooling anybody. Ricochet said that while he thinks Logan Paul is a bad person, he still respects Logan Paul as an athlete. And Logan said that Ricochet was one of the greatest in WWE until Logan Paul, showed up. Logan Paul brought up how he made Ricochet viral. He showed the footage from the Royal Rumble when they both collided in midair. Logan Paul wanted a fist bump, which Ricochet did give him, but then Logan Paul had to bring up Samantha Irving, the ring announcer, who was also engaged to Ricochet in real life. And Logan Paul said, no hard feelings when Ricochet's girl announces him, Logan Paul, as the winner. Ricochet, of course, did not appreciate this at all. He attacked Logan, and we had a brawl. Ricochet went for a springboard move, but got knocked out from a Logan Paul punch. And then Logan took a pick over the lifeless body of Ricochet. Very interesting angle here because I was feeling very confident that Logan Paul was going to win this match. This was basically, in my opinion, a rehab match for Logan. Logan lost to Roman Reigns. He lost to Seth Rollins. He lost that Money in the Bank. This is basically him picking up a win. But they did this angle where Logan beat down Ricochet, and typically the guy who gets the last laugh on the go-home show loses at the pay-per-view. But am I changing my opinion? You have to wait and see because we are doing predictions. The predictions will be going live Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on the No DQ YouTube channel. Stay tuned for that. It of course will be available on demand. I'm sounding like Porky Pig there. Backstage, we had Gunther being interviewed with Imperium, and he said he's not happy with Ludwig Kaiser. He said Kaiser will have a chance to redeem himself in a match against Matt Riddle. And then Gunther vowed to end Drew McIntyre once and for all at SummerSlam. And this led to a match. Ludwig Kaiser versus Matt Riddle. Kaiser had the upper hand early on, and he got a little bit of approval from Gunther. And as that was happening, that brief delay gave Riddle a chance to get back into the match. Vinci tried to get involved, but he was knocked off the apron. Riddle started to build up some momentum. He power bombed Kaiser, gave him a running knee, but Kaiser kicked out. And then Kaiser avoided a moonsault. Gunther then gave the order to finish off Riddle, and that's what Kaiser did. He dropped Riddle with a DDT and picked up the 1-2-3 victory. Riddle doing jobs here. Seems like WWE has no direction for Riddle. He's not on the card, and I'm not even sure he's in the Battle Royal. But yeah, not looking too good for him right now. Like, where do you go from here with Riddle? I say heel turn, but who knows? And then backstage, Ricochet was talked about by Logan Paul. Again, Logan Paul said that what happened out there was a small taste of what's going to happen at SummerSlam. We then had a dramatic Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar video package. We still don't know why Brock Lesnar turned against Cody Rhodes. They did not explain that, but yeah. Third match coming up at SummerSlam. And then we had Maxxine Dupri up against Valhalla. And this was Maxine's first singles match. Valhalla went right after her, but Maxine fought back. 2 arm drags, fisherman suplex. Otis got Maxine to do the caterpillar, which she did. And then she came off the top of the crossbody, but Eric of the Viking Raiders distracted the referee, and then a fight broke out at ringside with everybody. Gable delivered a moonsault to the outside onto everybody, and then back in the ring, Valhalla hit Maxine from behind, but Maxine recovered from that. She dropped Valhalla and picked up the 1-2-3 victory. Match was entertaining for what it was. I mean, definitely could have been worse. And TJS says Maxine had a better debut than Gable Steveson. There you go. Backstage, Tommaso Ciampa confronted Shinsuke Nakamura and said he's going to fix their problem. And then both of them vowed to win this upcoming SummerSlam Battle Royal, which is taking place this Sunday. Judgment Day came to the ring for a promo. Rhea Ripley was getting a lot of cheers. And on the flip side, Dominic once again getting heavily booed, very heavily booed. They bragged about beating up all these people, KO, Liv Morgan, and so on. And then Rhea Ripley started talking about Raquel, and that's when Raquel showed up. We had a brawl. Raquel was sent into the post, and then Raquel sent Rhea into the post, and then Rhea managed to fight back by targeting the already injured knee of Raquel. Did I say Sunday again? If I did, I apologize. Good old JM Jeff Meacham chiming in. Shout out to JM. He says, cheap, off-topic, but much-needed plug. Meech's musings live from Disneyland immediately after my recap of Raw. All right, well, if you guys want to watch that, head over to the Jeff Meacham Network when this is over. It's still early in the day over there. Well, not early in the day, but relatively early in the evening, like 8 o'clock there. Walter Cruz sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Walter. Thank you, Jeff and Walter. Walter says Riddle should go on a losing streak, then one of his friends tries to help him. They lose, and then he knees the out of the said person and goes heel. Well, I'd like that person to be Randy Orton. Maybe Randy comes back in the near future, and then Riddle turns against Randy. That's something I would like to see. And Jeff said the sun is setting over Galaxy's Edge. Well, there you go. It's still out relatively early in California. We had a video package for Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler, and it was confirmed. They had a recap of their history. There were 2 video packages. This was the first one, recapping their early history on Ultimate Fighter. And it was confirmed that this match coming up is going to be an MMA rules match. Now, why not just do a fight pit match? I don't get it. A fight pit match would be awesome. MMA rules, I mean, it's all pretty much the same thing anyways, but I like the fight pit gimmick. Like, to me, that's an easy pleaser for everybody. An MMA rules match, I guess that means they're going to do submissions. I don't know. They didn't really explain what that means specifically, but yeah, I would have preferred just a nice little fight pit match, but that's just me. We had the Alpha Academy backstage vowing to win this SummerSlam Battle Royal. Imperium confronted them, and Ludwig Kaiser said that Gable would not last 5 minutes with Gunther, and Gable accepted this challenge. He said, put 5 minutes on the wall, and Gable said he'll last 5 hours if need be, and he told Gunther to leave the crew in the back. We had Tommaso Ciampa versus Shinsuke Nakamura, and what I like to call a boring, but they refer to it as a match for momentum, a momentum match heading into this battle royal. Anytime the announcers are saying this match is all about building momentum, I usually find those matches to be boring because it's clear the writers don't actually know how to advance these storylines. So they just throw the guys out there. This is a momentum match. The winner has momentum heading into the premium live event. Like, I'm always bored with these matches. The word momentum, when that is used, that tells me lazy writing. Anyways, it was a nothing match, just your standard Raw TV match. You had big Bronson Reed watching backstage, and Nakamura got the win, grabbing the trunks, I guess, teasing that he's a heel now. I mean, whatever. I like Nakamura as a face. Like, I think the heel thing, they tried it. It had its run, but I definitely think Nakamura is better as a babyface. But then again, you know, they're trying to balance the heel and face roster, so guess he's got to go heel at this point. But yeah, it was filler. And then Adam Pearce told Raquel that she will get her title match against Rhea Ripley as soon as she is cleared. In other words, this match ain't happening at SummerSlam, which, I mean, I'm not really complaining about. I mean, there should be a women's championship match, but you do have the SmackDown women's title on the premium live event, and you got Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler. I would prefer they keep the card relatively short. And let's be real here, I don't think Raquel is beating Rhea for the title anyway, so might as well save it to Payback or whatever pay-per-view they have coming up, Fastlane, whatever it is. And that's my guess. They'll be doing that match at Fastlane. We then had Brock Lesnar show up for another. We got Brock Lesnar out here to be intimidating and stand around for a bit. He talked about his accomplishments. The crowd started doing the what chants at him, and he just played up on it. He let them do the what chants. He was pausing for them to say it. He gave no dams about this, and he invited Cody Rhodes to the ring for a handshake. Cody Rhodes did come out, of course, and Cody shook his hand, and then Lesnar walked away. He bumped into Cody as he was walking away. And then when he got to the outside of the ring, Cody Rhodes did a dive over the top, over onto Brock Lesnar. But then Brock Lesnar managed to fight back. He beat the crap out of Cody again. He used the steel steps and he left. Cody got to his feet, so Brock went back, delivered some more punishment, and the segment ended with Brock giving Cody an F5 in the ring. Yes, it was better than a contract segment or a pull-apart brawl, but it was filler. Like, they've already established the match. Like, what I would have liked would have been some kind of twist. Maybe Brock Lesnar finally explained why he turned against Cody or something a little bit deeper. It's just like Brock Lesnar is out there. Come on, shake my hand. Cody comes out there, shakes his hand. Then Cody tries to, for whatever reason, beat up Brock Lesnar before the match at SummerSlam. Like, why would you even do that? But I don't know. Anyways, Cody's winning, but we'll talk more about that when we get to predictions. We then had Chad Gable versus Gunther, the Intercontinental Champion, in a 5-minute challenge. Gable was getting beat up, but he did avoid the power bomb, and he managed to apply the ankle lock, but Gunther, of course, escaped from it. Gunther applied a sleeper hold, and he tried to power bomb Gable a second time right before the time ran out, but Gable managed to counter and send Gunther out of the ring. Gunther was counted out. Actually, not counted out. I mean, the time ran out is what I meant to say. The time ran out, and Chad Gable was declared the winner because he survived Gunther. This should have been the end of it, because this could have established Chad Gable as a future contender for the title. Keep that as a possibility for the future. But no, Gunther got on the mic and wanted to fight some more. He asked for more time, and the referee agreed, and we had the match continue. I'm not sure if this counts as a second match or if the ruling was thrown out and it was just all one match. I don't know. I don't care. But I was disappointed because once they start the match over again, like, it's painfully obvious that Gunther's winning. See, if Gable just survived, it doesn't hurt Gunther at all because he didn't actually get beat, and it can establish Gable as a future challenger. Here, it's time filler. So Gunther and Gable have their match, and it was a good match, but I wanted to see it for the title after SummerSlam, and they may still end up doing it, but it's like, this would have been a great opportunity to set up Gable. Gable was taking the fight to him. He superplexed Gunther, gave him a deadlift German suplex, but Gunther kicked out. Gable could not do it a second time, though, and he got chopped multiple times, and then Gunther picked up the win with the power bomb, got on the mic, vowed to beat Drew McIntyre. McIntyre had his side project he was working on, not able to be on Raw for the go-home show, so this is what they did, and it was fine, but yeah, I would have been perfectly happy with just the 5-minute challenge. And that would have been it. Backstage, Cody Rhodes was interviewed, and he was asked about his physical condition, and he said, basically, the aura of Brock Lesnar will be shattered at SummerSlam. We then had Becky Lynch come into the ring for a promo, and she was in her ring gear. She was ready to fight Trish Stratus right there in Houston. Trish Stratus and Zoe Stark came out there, and Trish said that she will do it on her time, not when Becky wants it. Adam Pearce then showed up, and why was Trish in her ring gear, by the way, if she had no intentions on doing the match? I mean, whatever. Adam Pearce said that the match is going to happen not at SummerSlam, but right here on the spot in Houston, Texas. We had the match, and guess what? Zoe Stark ran in, immediately attacking Becky, causing a disqualification. And the fight continued after the match. Becky was doing her best to fight them off, but then Trish got a steel chair and took out Becky. Then backstage, Adam Pearce confronted Trish and Zoe and said that the match will take place, again, not at SummerSlam, but in 2 weeks in Winnipeg, Canada. Trish is Canadian, so she'll have the home field advantage. So Adam Pearce is actually being nice to Trish, giving her this match in Canada. That will be in 2 weeks. Now, again, I don't want the SummerSlam card to be bloated, but they spent how long, how much TV time hyping this up? And now they're not doing it at SummerSlam? Just seems a little bit crazy to me. And no, I don't know why Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar is just a regular match. Like, it should have been a gimmick match, but I guess they decided because we got the Roman Reigns gimmick match. And did that really need to be a gimmick match? I guess so, because of how intense the feud is. And then you got the MMA rules match. And yeah, Zoe Stark is barred from ringside for that match in Canada. I get it. They added the Battle Royal. The Battle Royal is going to take up some time, and that meant something had to be cut. So they decided to cut Trish versus Becky. I feel bad for them. I mean, I was actually starting to get into the feud a little bit. I mean, it started off kind of lackluster, but I think they picked it up, and then they don't even get the SummerSlam match. Oh, well. We had that second video package for Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, and this was maybe the most effective thing on the show as far as building up the match, except, like I said, I want to see the fight pit match. Baszler basically said that they were in a toxic relationship, and Baszler had no money, and aligning with Rousey was the only option she had. And in reality, it was Rousey that needed Shayna Baszler, and Ronda was getting emotional talking about things. And Shayna said that she was the first one to hold Ronda's baby after the immediate family, and said that the baby is not going to forgive her for what she does to her mom, Ronda Rousey, at the SummerSlam Premium live event. And Dave is a beastly, get rid of the Battle Royal, he says. Well, the whole point was for LA Knight to have a match. Everyone was bitching about it. LA Knight doesn't have a match, and you get it, and now people are mad. So, I mean, the Battle Royal is silly. Like, it's just there to get people on the show. But, you know, they're trying to please the fans. Believe it or not, they do want the fans to be happy. And there's a demand for LA Knight. So they set up this Battle Royal. And this was such a weird, I mean, it was well done, but like the fans want to cheer Shayna Baszler, but they're trying to make Ronda Rousey the sympathetic character still. Like, I really don't know what they're going with here. Like, they should have just embraced Ronda Rousey as the heel. Maybe it's a scenario where you just cheer who you want to cheer for. I mean, whatever. I still think it was well done. We then had the final segment of the evening. We had the tag team main event. World champion Seth Freakin Rollins and Sami Zayn, one half of the tag champs, going up against Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio. Now, they did this routine where Sami Zayn comes to the ring, and then he's just standing in there like a jackass while the announcers are going over the entire SummerSlam card. Why not do that first and then bring Sami Zayn to the ring? It just bugs me. It's a pet peeve, just like contract signings. when the wrestler comes out there and they're just standing there forever, like, why do you do that to them? Just let them come out when it's time for their match. Anyways, we had the tag match, and Zayn and Rollins went right after Judgment Day on the stage. They were not wasting any time, knowing that they were at a numbers disadvantage. And of course, after the commercial break, Finn Balor did interfere, but then Sami Zayn got tagged in, hit a dive over the top rope to Priest, got him back in the ring, tornado DDT, but Priest kicked out, and then Rollins was back in. Rhea Ripley got on the apron. Rollins tried to attack Finn Balor, who was on the outside of the ring. He went up top, but then Priest caught Rollins, hit him with the razor's edge, and then looked over at his Money in the Bank briefcase and decided, instead of trying to win the match right there, he decided to cash in right there on the spot. Finn Balor grabbed the briefcase and he hesitated, but ultimately he did give the briefcase to Priest for the cash in. But the story here is that delay seemingly cost Priest the opportunity, because Seth Rollins recovered. He took out Priest, hit Dominic with the briefcase, and then Zayn took out Balor with a haluva kick. Rollins pinned Damian Priest with the curb stomp. Maybe if Balor did not hesitate, Priest would have been able to successfully cash in Money in the Bank. So this does tease SummerSlam. What's Damian Priest gonna do? Is he gonna try to cash in or not? They do end it on a cliffhanger, which I liked. But all in all, I thought this SummerSlam go-home show was kind of weak. And WWE go-home shows, they've been hit and miss as of late. And this one, it was all right. But it was, as I like to call it, by the numbers, meaning it was just routine. What they usually do, nothing out of the ordinary. Weak show, in my opinion, for a go-home. Like, I don't think it was a bad show, but it was far from a great go-home show. I would probably give Raw a C, average, but it should be better than average when it's the go-home show. You want to have people on the edge of their seats, and maybe some people were really energetic and enthusiastic coming out of this show, but like, looking back on it, like, I don't feel any more excitement than I did going in. And yeah, to me, that's not what you want. You want many hot angles on the show, so when it's over, you're like, man, I'm so stoked for SummerSlam. And I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but this show did nothing for me. I could have skipped this show and had the same exact level of excitement for SummerSlam. Comment here says they played it safe. Pretty much, that's what I would say. Now, Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, still don't think Randy Orton's, let me try that again. Still think Orton RKO's Rhea Ripley and feuds with Dominic after. Well, I could see that. Randy Orton coming back, feuding with Judgment Day, taking out Rhea Ripley with an RKO. I mean, he did it to Nia Jax, but then again, Nia Jax entered the men's Royal Rumble and set herself up for that. But, you know, it could be like a Stone Cold Steve Austin and China scenario where China kept poking the bear. And as the saying goes, you F around, you find out. And that's what happened to China. She poked the bear and she finally got the stunner. So maybe that does happen if and when Randy Orton comes back. Rhea Ripley antagonizes him, and you don't mess around with a snake. If you do that, you might get bit. Doesn't matter who you are. Nobody's safe from the Viper. Anyways, this was one of those Raws that dragged. I definitely think that it was just standard, safe episode of Raw. We got SummerSlam on Saturday. Let's just do a few matches here and just hit home the main points and everything, and that was it. Walter Cruz sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Walter. Says, the Peacock Network era ruins the go-home shows now. They don't have to sell you on buying the pay-per-views anymore. His is what happened over the years. I think he meant this is what happened. I'm not sure. Walter, you got to proofread before you send in those super chats. I know you're known for your spelling mistakes, but it's tough when I have to try to make out what the super chat is. And I'm already half blind as it is. No, I'm kidding. I mean, I got the glasses. It's a joke. Yeah, I feel like they got their money. They got their Peacock deal. They got their TV deals, and the shows have been really strong for the most part. It's just that Raw in particular seems to drag. And again, it's the 3-hour deal, as I've been saying for over a decade now. And yeah, with these go-home shows, they just don't put the effort in like they used to. I remember back in the day, I'm sounding like an old person, but back in my day, Stone Cold Steve Austin was out there with The Undertaker, and you had the ramp on fire, a highway to hell. Like, that was a go-home show for SummerSlam. Or like even during the Invasion era, when you had everybody coming out there hitting all their big moves. You had Undertaker, Steve Austin, The Rock, all of them out there exchanging big moves. Like, that was a great go-home segment. Like, I miss that stuff. I miss the ending of the show where it's just pure chaos and pandemonium. And we don't really see that anymore, unfortunately. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. I very much appreciate it. Make sure you give this video a like and comment. And check out NoDQ.com for the latest breaking news heading into SummerSlam. Stay tuned for predictions. They will be going live at 7 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday night. They'll be available on demand. We got a full panel for that. So tune in, check that out, and I will see you guys next time. And don't forget, say yes to NoDQ.com.